Marlon Chito Vera.
That's sad.
Marlon, thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you, man.
We will take the first question from Alfredo Bush with Claro Sports.
Hola, Chito, buen día, ¿cómo estás?
Todo bien, ¿qué tal?
Qué bueno, Chito, me da mucho gusto. Oye, pues aprovecho para preguntarte, ¿cómo te sientes? ¿Estás en un evento coestelar, en un evento numerado? ¿Cuál es el sentimiento en este Fight Week?
Pues me siento bien, motivado, es una pelea grande, es algo bueno para mi carrera y es una gran oportunidad, ¿no? Para tomar todo el empujón, una pelea grande, entonces me siento muy bien, estoy feliz, estoy motivado y el día sábado salgo a trabajar.
Estás cerca de tu 10ª victoria en el UFC. ¿Qué tan importante, más allá de los triunfos, de que estés en un evento coestelar, es el que has podido hacer una carrera dentro de la promoción?
Pues es algo grande para mí, para mi país, para mi familia y son cosas que me enorgullecen, ¿no? Saber que el trabajo duro, la disciplina y todo me ha traído tan lejos, ¿no? Y me va a seguir llevando hacia arriba por mi ética de trabajo.
Muchos de los focos van a estar puestos en Sean O'Malley, pero tú tienes esta posibilidad grande de colocarte en la élite del peso gallo. ¿Cómo lo sientes? ¿Cómo ves la pelea?
Pues me siento bien, es una pelea dura como cualquier otra y estoy contento, estoy fuerte y el día sábado voy a salir a acabar a mi oponente.
La última de mi parte, Chito, ¿qué esperas de este número? Yo sé que no hay gente, yo sé que a lo mejor esta pandemia ha sido muy complicada para todos, pero el saber que estás ahí en ese lugar, ¿qué te hace sentir y cómo esperas la pelea?
Pues me hace sentir bien, no es una pelea grande, es el come event y el día sábado pues salgo a darle una alegría a todo mi país, a toda la gente que me sigue.
Perfecto, muchísimas gracias, Chito, mucha suerte
Gracias
el
a ti,
sábado.
hermano, cuídate.
Abrazo.
And we will take our next questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Chito, I know this fight has been a long time coming. You were matched up with Sean like a year ago. Were you happy that you finally get the chance to face him? Was this kind of the fight you were hoping to get?
Honestly, like as I said before, like I'm just happy when I get the call, you know, whoever is in the other side of the corner doesn't matter to me. And when they offered me the fight, I was like, yeah, let's do it because I had a different fight before I get offered this one, but then they called me, they're like, hey, what about this? I'm like, you guys signed the contract, I signed it, dog, doesn't matter who's the name in the next side.
And I know that there's been a lot of talk leading into this fight, but from what you've seen out of Sean O'Malley, have you been impressed by him at all?
I'm gonna be honest, like I know the guy is good. I know he have his stuff, he have his style of fighting, So I cannot underestimate anybody at this point at this level because anybody can get shit done. So at the end of the day, it's a hard fight as any other, and I'm prepared for that. And Saturday night, I'm gonna come hard and strong as always, and I'm fucking ready.
How much do you pay attention to the kind of stuff that Sean O'Malley says? He's a very public guy, does a lot of interviews, has said a lot about you. How much do you pay attention, and do you use any of that as motivation?
Oh no, all the motivation came from myself, from my heart, from my family, from achieving my goals and get stuff done for me and for the people that I love. And then the rest, is just part of the show, part of the business. It's fun. I enjoy the process. I enjoy all the shit talk, answering stuff. But I do it when I feel it, and sometimes I don't fucking feel it. I just want to fight, and that's why I like to be active and be able to do this every 2 3 months because I really like to compete, and that's what really matters to me. What my opponent has to say or not is good because I build the fight, put us in a good spot. But at the end of the day, the cage is gonna be locked, and then it's the time that I really have fun. When I'm able to compete and try to fuck somebody up.
What did you make of Sean coloring his hair in the colors of the Ecuadorian flag?
Well, that's a good question that a lot of people ask me, but honestly, I don't really know. It could be Venezuela, it could be Colombia, it could be Ecuador. You don't have the logo on that, so I don't know which country he dyed his hair, but good for him. I have yellow or blonde, so I'm supporting all the yellow flags out there. So good for him. You gotta. We're free to do whatever the fuck we want. That's why we pick this sport because it's not like a regular job that somebody tell you what to do and when to do it. So good for him.
So if he's trying to do it to try to get under your skin, because obviously, being from Ecuador, it doesn't bother you.
Oh, my skin's thicker than his mom, so I'm good with that. It's hard to get in my mind. I was the youngest in the family. I got a lot of fucking bullets, like my brother, my everybody. So we grew up fucking a lot with each other. So I'm good in that side. Win, lose, draw, whatever. I'm here to fight. I'm here to put in a show. And Saturday night, and my paycheck's gonna grow.
Thank you, Cheetah. Best of luck.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
And we will take the next question from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hey, Chito. So everyone's talking about his hair. You're not usually blonde either. Can I ask what made you want to dye yours?
In this whole, when the quarantine started, I've been dyeing my hair. My hair was pretty long at the beginning. So when I shaved my head again and went back to normal me, it was in the beginning of when all this started with the COVID, and then I went from green to pink to blonde to blue. So in the quarantine, I'm not saying I was the first fighter that dyed his hair because that's not true. We got Chris leaving many years ago, but I was one of the first ones on this era that I started redoing it, and I kind of like enjoying it. I kind of like was having fun with changing my colors every week because I was fucking bored. But now, I just go by feeling. Last week it was pink, and then before that it was like almost white. So I'm just, I'm fucking around. There's nothing else to do besides fighting and dyeing your hair and get tattoos.
Have you gotten new tattoos lately?
I get my neck. I get a flower from this Russian chick in LA. So, tattoos are cool. You better be getting a bunch.
All right, I got you. Hey, it's a fun time to be a bantamweight. I mean, you've got a big three up there with Peter Yan, Marlon Moraes, and Aljo. Can I ask, how do you see all that playing out? When it's all over, which of those three do you think is going to be at the top?
I really feel like Aljo is the next in line. He's been working his way up since he got a couple tough losses, but that's something that I admire when somebody grind his way up and get shit done. I feel he's next in line. Peter Yan did a really good job getting the belt, but he's been in a past prime guy. Aldo, which it's a fucking legend. He was a hero back in the day, but let's be real. Right now, the guy cannot win a fight. So good for him for get the belt because the belt is the belt. Once you're the champion, you never go back. But I feel Aljo have to fight next to see really what's happening, and then it's a pretty fun division right now. Like I'm pretty excited. There's a shit lot of good fights, so I'm excited to be here and let the bangers go.
Obviously, if you get the win on Saturday, it would be a big deal. Can I ask, up until this point, what has been the coolest moment of your career, either MMA or grappling?
I would say being in the UFC. Like the UFC it's fucking amazing. Like when I used to fight in South America, like it's just different. When it's like in the shows before the UFC, it's like it's just the fight day that matters because there's not like a fight week like we have in the UFC. Like since the staff, the people that work here, like how they make everything for you, like this is fucking cool. That's why this is the best league in the world, to be. And I'm so blessed to be here, and I enjoy the whole process. So to me, the coolest moment of my career is made it to the UFC.
My final question for you, Chito. Obviously, you've imagined pulling off that upset, ending the hype and all that. When you think about the fight in your mind, how do you finish Sean O'Malley?
I just see myself going in there and I'm fucking the guy up. Like I'm pretty ready. I'm feeling good. I'm confident. And I show in every fight. I come to fight and I'm putting a show for the fans, and that's what they like. That's what they pay for. Nobody pays for for a hugging contest or or a fight against the cage. People pay for a fight. They're maniacs. They love bleeding. They love fucking exchange. So I'm here to put on a show. I'm an entertainer, and that's what I'm gonna do Saturday night.
Thanks, Chito.
Thank you.
And we will take our next questions from Adrian Gallardo with Vavel, Argentina.
¿Qué tal, Chito? Muy
¿Todo
buenas
bien?
tardes. Todo bien. Bueno, quería preguntarte cómo fue la preparación para esta pelea.
Pues la preparación fue como todas, ¿no? Fue muy fuerte, con mucha dedicación, manteniendo un campamento bastante serio, bastante fuerte y me siento bien, me siento cómodo, me siento tranquilo y estoy en muy buena forma.
Perfecto. ¿Pensás que O'Malley es uno de los rivales más importantes que tuviste hasta el momento y que va a ser una pelea relevante este próximo sábado en la Costelar?
Es una pelea relevante, ¿no? Por eso es la costelar, ¿no? Yo creo que están usando esta pelea para que el ganador de la pelea se vaya para arriba y obviamente agarre toda la fuerza, los fanáticos y eso, ¿no? Entonces es una pelea grande y la estoy tomando en serio como lo he hecho en toda mi carrera, ¿no? Para mí la pelea que tengo enfrente es la más importante de mi vida, pero así mismo serán las siguientes que vienen, ¿no? Entonces me he preparado fuerte, me he preparado a conciencia y estoy listo para el sábado.
¿Cómo tomaste las provocaciones que hizo O'Malley, por ejemplo, por lo del pelo y todo eso? Si les diste importancia y qué pensás de él más allá de esto como rival.
No, pues para mí toda la importancia está en el negocio, ¿no? En hacer dinero, en ganar las peleas y imponer un espectáculo, ¿no? El resto, lo que se haga, lo que se diga, mis oponentes, para mí eso no tiene, ¿no? Ya tú que en lo personal que eres argentino, cuando peleé en Argentina, vieron todo lo que mi oponente dijo o hizo y nada cambió, ¿no? Yo no me salgo de las vías del tren, ¿no? Para mí la meta es una y es romperle la trompa al que tengo enfrente.
Perfecto. Y para terminar, un mensaje que le quieras dejar a todos fanáticos de Latinoamérica.
Pues a todos los latinos, darles las gracias por el apoyo. Yo sé que están apoyándome, yo sé que están presentes, así que no se olviden, ¿no? De que el que trabaja fuerte siempre consigue lo que quiere y el día sábado salimos con todo.
Muchísimas gracias, Chito, y mucha suerte para el sábado.
Gracias.
And we will take our last set of questions from Pablo Santamaria with Notima, Ecuador.
Hey, ¿qué tal, Chito? ¿Cómo estás? Lo primero
¿Todo
que
bien?
quiero preguntarte es, ¿cómo te sentiste tras tu última pelea en contra de Song Yadong? Me imagino que enojado por la pésima decisión, pero también contento por el apoyo que recibiste de todo el Ecuador.
Sí, no, el apoyo fue grande, como siempre, es algo que me motiva a seguir adelante, que me hace feliz y claro, no, las cosas no se dieron como quería, las cosas pudieron haber sido mejor, pero al final del día son cosas que no podemos controlar y uno tiene que seguir mirando hacia el frente y trabajando.
¿Y cuáles consideras que son las fortalezas y debilidades de Sean? ¿Y piensas que esta es la pelea más importante de tu carrera?
Pues la pelea que tengo enfrente siempre es la más importante en mi carrera, ¿no? Sin importar quién sea, ¿no? Entonces, yo no me enfoco mucho en quién es mi rival o qué hace o qué dice, yo me enfoco en mí, en ganar y estoy preparado para este sábado.
La última vez que te realizaste la prueba de COVID, vimos de ahí que tenías un poco de problemas. ¿Qué pasó con esta vez? ¿Ya más acostumbrado o no?
Claro, ya una vez que te acostumbras después de la vez, de un par de veces ya no te molesta mucho, ¿no? Pero las primeras sí fueron bien jodidas de hacer.
Muchos de tus fanáticos piden el regreso de la cumbia chonera. Y mucha suerte para el sábado, Chito. Todo el Ecuador está contigo.
Muchas gracias, lo aprecio mucho y para todos los ecuatorianos que me apoyan, que están pendientes, le doy las gracias de corazón y que sepan que el día sábado estoy preparado, estoy listo y pues en una de estas peleas pongo la música de nuevo. No he estado, siempre cambio de música, pero al final del día la bandera siempre sale conmigo y mi corazón, la tricolor siempre está presente.
Gracias, Chito. Suerte.
Gracias.
Thank you so much, Marlon. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Sweet. Thank you,
Yo.
man. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. And next up, we will be joined by UFC featherweight Herbert Burns. We now welcome UFC featherweight Herbert Burns. Herbert, thank you for the time again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We will take the first question from Jay Anderson with Cage Side Press.
Hey, Herbert. Welcome back. I saw that you posted your COVID test results the other day, 8-0, so congratulations. But I wanted to ask, was there any point, given that your brother had tested positive, that you were worried about it yourself? And have you thought about, the stroke of luck that he contracted it and you didn't?
I was worried when I spent the night in the same room as him, but that was negative and was negative again and again. Keep coming negative. So after that time, I'm not much worried. I still take the precautions. I'm not taking for granted, but I'm believe it will be super hard for me to get a positive test coming. So I'm pretty relaxed about the COVID subject at the moment.
And just to follow up, how's he doing in his recovery?
He's doing well. He's doing pretty good. Now he's little holiday with the family in Brazil with my daughter, my parents, and my older brother. He's enjoying a little bit. He deserves taking a little rest. He did like few camps in a row, and then the COVID came, and now he gets rest. Hopefully he will be back in action in November, December.
Well, good to hear. And of course, you've got a fight to look forward to this weekend. You've said that Daniel Pineda is more dangerous than the champion, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by that statement. So can you expand on that just a little? What makes him so dangerous?
Daniel Pineda doesn't go to decision. He's not a decision man. He go there and he finish his job. Doesn't let other people dictate the results of his fight. He always looking for a finish. And he has a good jiu-jitsu. Has 18 submissions, victories, and that's why I think he's dangerous than Volkanov. He still have the knockout power, but plus he has the jiu-jitsu. He's not doesn't have a name like recognition as Volkanov does, but he's a super dangerous opponent. So in my views, he's dangerous than the champion. He's more dangerous than the champion.
He hasn't fought in the UFC recently. He's returning, but he has fought in the promotion before. Were you surprised when you were given his name as your opponent, considering the run that you've been on?
I was surprised. No, I can't lie. I wasn't surprised. I was surprised that he wasn't in my radar. I had other guys on my radar, but I'm not a guy that runs for a challenge. I run towards the challenge. When they offered the naming, I didn't even flinch. I just accept the naming. I'm ready to. Who wants to be the champion? You cannot choose opponents. And I'm one of those guys. I won't choose my opponents. I'm just gonna go walk through all of them and make my line to the top.
And last one for me. I mean, this being your second fight in the pandemic, do you think that gives you a bit of an edge, just knowing what to expect and having experienced the arena with no crowd?
Yes, it will be my third fight here in the Apex. I'm so far 2 submissions victories, both in the first round. So hopefully I keep the same thing going. And on the Contender Series, there's barely public there. On the fights against Dan, I had no public at all. So yeah, I know I would expect. I think this gives me a little advantage. But during the fight, to close the cage, just me and Pineda there, and it will be a war, and I'll be victorious.
All right. Well, best of luck this Saturday.
And we will take our next questions from Pablo Santamaria with Notima, Ecuador.
Hi, Herbert. You have already fought under these circumstances. Which has been different in this camp compared to the previous one?
I fought before in the pandemic. It's different because there's no public. There's no the energy from people around you. They want you to go there and perform. They want you to feel the energy. That's the most different I feel. But with public, no public, my goal is the same. Go there and perform good and get a good victory. And that's what I'm aiming to do on August 15 against Daniel Pineda.
Okay, your opponent is arguably more experienced than you. What do you think his strategy will be? Do you think he's going to try to keep on the feet, or he might go to the ground with you?
I think he believes in his own skills. I think he will try to take the fight where he thinks he will win. I believe in my eyes, he will keep the fight on the feet. But I won't be surprised if he tries to take me down and try to grapple with me. But if he does that, he'll be welcome. It will be my world.
Fair play. Good luck on Saturday, Herb.
Thank you.
And we will take our next questions from Gavin Porter with UFC.com.
All right, so it's been about a year since you got your contenders, just over a year actually, since you got your contender series contract. Is this where you thought you'd be in just a year since that day?
That was my plan, but the plan, but you never know if the plan's gonna go through or not. But it went through. It was two great victories, both first round finishes, one knockout, one submission, to show my skills and show my potential. And now I'm on the pay-per-view card again, this time on the main card, in the mainstream. So I'm hopefully looking forward there to go there, perform again, and hopefully get one more victory.
This will be your third fight this year, and when you look at that, is this the type of activity you think the pandemic has allowed you to be able to create more value for your identity, for your fighter, by being so active?
I think so. I think the pandemic, it's always opportunity, man. In times of crisis, it's opportunity. Some people make through and make good of the opportunity. Some people just pass and wait for the perfect opportunity. I can't wait. I'm 32 years old. I'm very experienced. I did well in other promotions and got my chance to get in the UFC. It was super hard to be here. It wasn't easy for me, but I make it here and I showing my potential. And I don't want to waste any time. I want to go there, fight, stay active, show my availability to the company that they can count on me. And short notice fights, my second short notice in a row, and I want to go there this Saturday and put a hell of a performance again.
If you get a third finish in a row, 3 in a row in the UFC, do you feel like you're setting yourself up to be right where you want to be going into 2021?
Yes, definitely. I think if this victory over Pineda, super tough opponents, I should be inside of the featherweight rankings.
Perfect. That's it for me, Christoph.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Herbert. Those are all the questions we had for you.
All right. Thank you.
And next up, we will be joined by UFC featherweight Daniel Pineda. We now welcome UFC featherweight Daniel Pineda. Daniel, thank you for the time today, sir.
How's it going, brother?
It's going great. Thank you. We will take the first question from Nolan King with MMA Junkie.
Cool.
Appreciate the time, man. Welcome back. It's been a little while since we saw you in the UFC. It's been 6 years, actually, since your last UFC fight. So talk to me about how it feels to be back and going through fight week again.
It feels good. You know, it's not a big camp, but it feels good to be back, man. Happy to be here.
Was there ever any doubt as you were going through other organizations and working your way back here that you would be here again?
No, I knew I was going to come back and give it another run. I've been telling my coaches and everybody, no, I'm going to give it one more run. And this is the run I'm giving. I'm doing it right now.
The last time we saw you compete in the cage, you were in a tournament, and it was a one-night tournament, and those results were overturned. So we never really heard from your perspective. Can you kind of give your side of that and maybe how frustrating that was to deal with from your perspective?
It sucked. You know, you work so hard and then for that to happen, I mean, it just sucked, you know?
Yeah. For sure. And also, you talk about how you're back and you're going to give it one more run. So what do you plan to accomplish now that you're here? What is the second run for Daniel Pineda in the UFC look like?
Get to the top and make as much money as I can. That's exactly what my second run is. Make as much money as I can, and so I can support my baby and my girl at home.
For sure, man. Well, I appreciate the time and good luck, Daniel.
Thank you, brother.
We will take our next questions from Jay Anderson with Cageside Press.
Hey, thanks very much. And Daniel, I'm not sure if you saw this, but Burns called you more dangerous than Alexander Volkanovski, more dangerous than the champ. What's your reaction when you hear an opponent say something like that?
He has respect. Same respect I got for him. He's good. He's a world-class jiu-jitsu guy, and we have respect for each other. We know it's going to be a fight. We know it's going to be a war, and that's why we're in the main card now. Everybody's expecting a war, and there is going to be a war.
You haven't had a lot of time to prepare this, to prepare for this fight. What was your approach? What was camp like going into this?
Don't get hurt. Don't overwork myself because it's only a week, 2 weeks, 1 week at home and 1 week here. So just try to cut my weight and try to get a lot running in. Try to get in shape.
And he's obviously known for his ground game. You've got a boatload of submissions as well, something he pointed out, I think 17 or 18 in your pro career. Is this a case where you want to test yourself against him, or is the plan to kind of force him into a stand-up battle?
Y'all know how I fight, man. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to try to finish him, or he's going to finish me. It's one of them two. I don't like decisions. I've never gone to a decision. All of them are finishes. So one of us is going to get finished. If it's him or if it's me, but it's going to be a good fight.
All right, well, looking forward to it. Best of luck this Saturday.
Thank you, brother.
We will take our next questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Daniel, welcome back to the UFC. Can you kind of give me an idea of what this last 10 months has been like for you? To make a kind of a short notice debut, go into PFL, win 2 fights. You're in the finals. You're about to fight for $1 million. We know what happened with the Nevada Commission. Then you get a suspension, your time off. Then you're back in the UFC again. Here you are fighting, in the middle of a pandemic on a massive card like UFC 252. Like, what's the emotion been like for you for these past 8 to 10 months?
Man, honestly, I haven't even been thinking about none of that. I just had my baby girl. She's 2 months. My wife's been pregnant for 9 months. So, I've just been taking care of my baby, trying to work out, and I know I was going to get back in here. I knew I was going to get back in here, and I'm in here now. And now it's just time to prove myself, to myself and to all the fans out there and everybody else and whoever's doubting me out there. All they do is doubt. I just wait. Come Saturday night.
And not to obviously take a dig at PFL by any stretch of the imagination, but I think everyone knows they ended up not fighting at all this year. And there's been some frustration from some of the fighters, with the UFC being back, Bellator coming back, things like that. In the end run, were you happy that, you were able to get out of PFL and come to UFC? Now you're fighting, because I know you're an active guy. You like to, we know you as a guy who fights quite often.
Yeah, I don't say no to fights. You call me in 3 days, I'm going to fight, do a catch weight and I'll fight, but, man, just know I got a good manager, and I got out of the contract and I'm here now. So that's what counts. And I got an awesome manager, Jason House. He's the man.
And you were, when you were in the UFC before, and you've always been known as a guy who puts on exciting fights and always goes out there to put on a show, win, lose, or draw. And we've seen it, especially during this pandemic, the UFC really seems to appreciate, the guys and the girls who've gone out there and done that. Do you feel like, in a way, this is the perfect time for you to come back to the UFC with your style and your attitude in a time where we are in kind of a weird time for fighting?
Yeah, I think it's the perfect time. And it's a perfect time for me to get some bonuses too. Now that I'm in the main card and I can actually see and get my bonuses. It's a perfect time. Everything's falling into place at a perfect time.
And last question for me, as you said, you're not a guy who turns down fights or turns down opportunities, but getting a guy like Herbert Burns in your first fight back, this is a big fight. Herbert's been on a great run. one of the top prospects in the division. Of course, his brother is, number one ranked welterweight in the world. I mean, could you have asked for a better scenario? Now, main card, as you mentioned, it seems like everything's kind of fallen into place.
Exactly. No. I love this fight. I love all the hype he got behind him. I love all the hype the name they have. Their jiu-jitsu, and I mean, I can test myself out, see where I'm at with that jiu-jitsu. See if he can submit me. Maybe I submit him. I'm going there and submit him. I mean, for sure, we're gonna get finished. One of us. There's no decision. So no, it's good, and I'm happy I got this fight. I'm happy. The last time they asked me to fight him, I said yes. It didn't happen. He ended up fighting somebody else, and that was like in a 4-day notice. And then I knew he was gonna come back, and here we are. I'm excited to fight Herbert. He's good. I've watched him, and I mean, he's good.
Awesome. Thanks, Daniel.
Yep.
And we will take our next questions from Pablo Santamaria with Notima, Ecuador.
Hey Daniel, how are you?
How's it going, brother?
What will be your strategy for the fight? Are you going to keep the fight on your feet, or do you have no problem going to the ground and show that you're a complete fighter?
I'm gonna do whatever opportunity happens. I'm gonna go in there. Every fight starts standing, so I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna stand up, and if he lets me take him down, I'm gonna take him down and ground and pound him. I'm not scared of his ground. I'm not scared of his stand up. So wherever it goes, I'm happy to be there.
Okay, you're a more experienced fighter than him. So do you think that your experience will play an important role in achieving the victory?
Yes. Very. I've have what, like 2, 3. Yeah, I have what, 26, 27 fights. Oh, whatever, 30 something fights. So yeah, I have a lot more experience. I think I got more fights than all the guys that are fighting the same night on that card. So, yeah.
That's cool. So good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Those are all the questions we had for you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you for your patience. We will be joined momentarily by UFC heavyweight Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We now welcome the number 6 ranked UFC heavyweight contender in the world, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Jair, thank you for the time today, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. We will take the first question from Gustavo Falden with ESPN Brazil.
Hi, Jairzinho. How's it going?
Good, sir. How you doing?
As you know, he said I'm from Brazil, and you're named after a Brazilian legend. What do you know about Jairzinho, the soccer football player?
Now these days, I know a lot about him. I think 2017, I went to Brazil in Sao Paulo by the museum to know more about him, and yeah, it's awesome. Feels great. I named after him, and yeah.
And what can we expect from your fight against Dos Santos?
My performance will be phenomenal. I have to set something straight with myself. I feel good. I have a great camp, and I'm gonna go in there and try to get my hands raised again.
You have a hard hand. If you barely like get out from the first round, either by knocking out, and your only defeat came in the first round. Can we expect the same against Dos Santos, who is already a heavy hitter himself?
100%.
And what can you say about him? You know, where would you think you would be if you beat Dos Santos, a former champion?
Dos Santos, he does a lot for the sport. Yeah, still a dangerous guy. Beat him, I will be right there. Especially the championship fights happening the same day, and I think Francis is the next guy who's fighting for the title, and we're gonna go from there as soon as he got a chance. And yeah.
And my last one, since you are named after a Brazilian legend, you're fighting against a Brazilian. What can you say to the Brazilian fans to cheer for you as well?
I mean, I trained together with a lot of Brazilians, the American top team, even feel Brazilian. In my country, I'm surrounded by a lot of Brazilians, so can see it as a local fight, make the best man win. I want to win, so I'll go for that. And the only thing they can do is cheer for us. And yeah, tamo junto.
Thanks, man.
All right.
And we will take our next questions from Augusto Niesgue with Somos MMA. Augusto, please. Oh. Augusto, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted. Okay, we will move on. Our next question will come from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cape Side Press.
Hey, Jairzinho. So obviously last year you were on the right side of a lot of great performances. Look, you've had a lot of fights, so when you have a loss like the one you had earlier this year, did it make it easier just as like, hey, you've been the hammer a while, you can bounce back after being the nail?
No, of course not. After a loss means something's not good, something's not right. And yeah, as soon as I got that, I get back to the gym, and here I am again, trying to get my hands raised.
I mean, that was a quick fight. You guys are both known for throwing so much power. What did you go back and analyze from that fight?
I mean, you can analyze a lot of things. If you got caught, you got caught. Everybody can knock somebody out yeah, you have power. Only thing you have to do is hit accurate and or touch your opponent. So the fight was a short fight. Can't say a lot about it. But here I am now, and looking forward for a win.
I don't think enough people outside the MMA bubble realize this, but you are a very big deal back home in Suriname. Can you just talk about what a typical day is like for you when everyone recognizes you at home?
No, I mean, it's awesome. I'm honored to represent my country to the world. I mean, millions of eyeballs, and go back home. I'm the first fighter of Suriname fighting in the UFC, and everybody know UFC is the biggest platform about fighting in the world, and yeah, that make a lot of sense. So being back home, everybody look up to me and wish me luck and wish that I win all the fights, you know. So it feels great, feels awesome, and I'm honored.
You're fighting one of the legends of the heavyweight division in recent years in Junior Dos Santos. When you have a guy who's had so many of those big fights in his career, which ones do you remember and do you look at in terms of preparing and just understanding who you're really ready for when you go out there on Saturday?
I mean, it's a fight. As soon as you face someone, I'm not looking in the past. You know, Junior did a lot of things for the sport. I respect him for that. And I respect him as opponent too. But I'm looking forward to what I want to do, where I want to be. He's the man standing in the way. He's the man to take out.
My final question, who do you have winning in the main event between Stipe and DC?
I mean, I don't care. I mean, I like DC, and I hope it's a great match.
Thank you.
All right.
We will take our next question from Mark Schaaf with Talpa Network.
Hi Jairzinho, Mark hier namens Veronica Fight. Bedankt voor je tijd. Je staat voor je 12e gevecht binnen UFC. Hoe voel je?
Ik voel me goed. Ja, ik ben er klaar voor. Mijn laatste wedstrijd is niet gegaan zoals we hadden gehoopt. Dus het enige wat we hebben gedaan is terug naar de gym gaan en aanscherpen, niet te veel achteruit kijken en proberen gewoon weer een winst aan onze zijde te krijgen.
Ja, heb je je mentaal lang moeten herstellen van je eerste verlies?
Eigenlijk helemaal niet. Van het moment dat ik uit de octagon stapte, was mijn mindset meteen als ik de persoon die ik wil zijn naar deze, dus naar dit alles. Ja, moet gek zijn. Ik wil gewoon gaan winnen en ja, ik wil aan niks anders denken. Zo heb ik me ook voorbereid.
Ja, en fysiek, ja, een normaal mens blijft liggen, zeg maar. Jij bent het soort van gewend, maar heb je je fysiek lang moeten herstellen van je verlies?
Nee, ik probeer niet in het verleden te blijven kijken. De realiteit is, het is gebeurd. Je gaat treuren, heb ik gedaan. Maar ik wil niet daar aan blijven zitten. Dus ja, ik ben gewoon vooruit gaan denken. En het eerste gevecht die ik kreeg was deze. En het is een grote kans, dus ik zeg er geen nee tegen.
Ja, hoe is het voor jou om tegen JDS te vechten? En, ja, bijna een legende.
Ja, JDS, hij blijft gevaarlijk. Heel interessant, hij is een allrounder fighter. Ja, ik ga gewoon sowieso van mijn beste kunnen. Ik heb me goed voorbereid, ik voel me goed. En ja, ik ben ready. En ik probeer gewoon weer winst aan mijn zijde te hebben.
Ja, jullie zitten in hetzelfde team. Hoe goed ken je hem?
Ik ken hem niet zo goed. Ik denk dat hij een van de eerste personen was bij de gym toen ik daar aankwam. Om het te verwelkomen. Ik ben blij dat je bij ons team bent gekomen. Ik heb nooit met hem getraind. Ik zie hem bijna elke dag. Meestal als ik klaar met trainen. Als ik eruit ga, komt hij net erin. En ja, dat is alles wat ik van hem, dus wat persoonlijk betreft, ik ken hem niet anders. We hebben nooit samen getraind, niet echt worden uitgewisseld.
Hij heeft je wel voorgesteld om te gaan sparren, toch? Voor deze wedstrijd. Maar dat heb je afgewezen. Waarom?
Ja, klopt. Ik voel me oncomfortabel daarmee. Ik denk het is een wedstrijd. Het is geen vriendjespolitiek of weet je. Het is gewoon meteen serieuze pot en ik kijk er serieus naar.
Ja, waarom denk je dat hij dat voorstelde aan jou? Is het misschien iets wat hij graag wilde?
Ik denk van wel, maar ik zou niet weten waarom hij dat zo graag van me zou willen. Ik weet het niet. Ik denk dat er misschien iets anders erachter zit. Misschien niet negatief. Ik denk dat zoiets zou verkopen bij de UFC, ook buiten de UFC. Twee vechters die zeg maar moeten vechten, die sparen gewoon elke week 1 keer. Ja, het is een grote hype, iets nieuws. Misschien zoiets.
Ja, we gaan natuurlijk s'nachts allemaal naar je kijken. Wat voor gevecht wordt dit?
Dit gevecht wordt, ik denk, ik ben scherp. Ik ga meteen van mijn beste kant uit. Ik ga niet wachten. Ja. We gaan gewoon meteen vooruit.
Ja, hoe kijk je naar het main event van de avond? 2 zwaargewichten ook.
Ja, de kampioenswedstrijd. Ik ben blij dat dat eindelijk plaatsvindt. Wordt geweldig. Maakt eigenlijk voor mij niet uit wie gaat winnen. Het gaat meer om dat het plaatsvindt en dat wij dan gewoon zeg maar, naar de toekomst kunnen kijken. En ja, DC, ik vind zijn wrestling leuk. Ik vind hem een geweldig persoon. Ook hij zichzelf representeert met het vechten, buiten het vechten. Ja, dat vind ik van de hoofdwedstrijd.
Ja, waar sta jij nu in de rij? Want waarschijnlijk gaat Francis tegen de winnaar vechten als DC doorgaat. Waar sta jij?
Hopelijk sta ik heel dichtbij. En ik denk dat er nog een paar jongens zijn die nog even een potje willen draaien. En ik hoop als die wedstrijd plaatsvindt, dat ik dan ook op die kaart sta.
Ja. Laatste vraag. Je vecht tegen een Braziliaan. Je heet Jairzinho. Dat is een Braziliaanse naam, toch?
Ja, klopt.
Ben je vernoemd naar een Braziliaan?
Ja, klopt. Ik ben vernoemd naar de legendarische speler Jairzinho. En mijn ouders die volgden vroeger heel veel voetbal. En Brazil was destijds de grootste kampioen, grootste land in het voetbalgebeuren. En ik werd vernoemd naar de legendarische speler Jairzinho.
Geweldig. Hey Jairzinho, ik wens je namens eigenlijk alle Nederlandse fans heel veel succes. We gaan voor je juichen, hoop ik. En we staan in ieder geval achter je en heel veel succes straks.
Dankjewel. Tot de volgende keer.
Thanks.
And we will take our next questions from Adrian Gallardo with Vavel, Argentina.
Hello, Jairzinho. How do you prepare? Pardon, sorry. How did you prepare for this fight?
I have a good preparation. I feel good about it. So yeah.
What are you thinking about Junior Dos Santos, your rival? It's a former champion. What do you think about him?
I think Junior Dos Santos, he's been a great champion. Still a dangerous guy. For me, I'm looking for a win. I need it. I have something to set straight with myself. And yeah, I'm just gonna go in there and do what I do best.
Okay, what are you thinking about fight in the smaller cage?
Fighting in a smaller cage. I don't have too much to think about. It's gonna be my first time, and yeah, it's gonna be my first time in a smaller cage. So we're gonna see after this.
Okay, and the last question: are you motivated for this fight after the loss with Ngannou?
Of course, I'm motivated. That's why I'm here, sir.
Okay, thank you, Jairzinho, and good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
And we will take our next questions from Jose Ignacio Cruz.
Hi, Jairzinho. Nice talking to you. It's a pleasure. I was wondering about the experiences against former champions like Andrei Arlovski, fight with, excuse me.
Sorry, Jose, your microphone cut out a little bit. Can you repeat that, please?
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I'm so sorry. I was just wondering about the experiences against former champions such as Andrei Arlovski and Alistair Overeem. How do you feel about that experience, and what do you carry from those experiences? What are the lessons that you get from that?
I mean, it feels great for every victory. My experience was most with the fight of Leicester. I've been there in the octagon for 5 rounds, almost 25 minutes, and that's my longest time I've been in the octagon. Yeah, it's a lot of experience. Can't name all of it, but it feels good, and it feels better that you're still in the fight.
I see. About your preparation, how does all this COVID situation affected your training camp? Can you elaborate on that?
No, at first it was difficult because I was traveling from my home country back to the States, and then we got stuck in the Netherlands, me and my coach, and we called the UFC, and they fixed us a waiver. And first I have to come, and because my coach couldn't come because he didn't have a work permit yet. and then my management, virtual management, and the UFC put work into it, and they got it fixed. He just got here the last 2 weeks of the fight, and now, yeah, everything is perfect. I feel good, and yeah.
Final question, sir. How do you feel about your matchup against Junior Dos Santos? Do you think it's going to be a rock'em sock'em kind of fight, or you're going to take a more wary approach? What's your feeling about that?
My feeling about this, I mean, it's a fight. Junior's still a dangerous guy. I train good. I have a good camp. I feel good. I feel great. I'm looking for a victory. I'm just gonna go in there and show my best side, get my hands raised again.
That's great to hear, sir. Best of luck on your fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Nice day.
Thank you so much, Jair. That's actually all the time we had for you, sir.
All right. Have a nice day.
We now welcome the number 13 ranked UFC bantamweight contender, Merab Dvalishvili. Merab, thank you for the time today, sir.
Thank you.
We will take the first question from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Okay.
Hey, Merab, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Perfect. I wanted to ask you because after your last fight, we saw you with the black papaja. We're obviously used to seeing Khabib and his white one, and I wanted to know, is there significance behind yours being a different color?
Yeah, so I'm from Georgia and Dagestan and Chechnya. We are similar people. Like we only between us, it's a big mount. So only mount is it's totally different country, but we are like similar. Like we used to be same people, but the only difference between us, they are Muslim, we are Christian. So now Russia occupied those countries, Chechnya, Dagestan, and now they are part of the Russia. Georgia, we have our own flag, own language, own riding, everything. So, but we are similar, and we have a old dress same. We have a all same papaka. We have a white papaka, black papaka. They have same. Like we all have a same traditional dress. Clothes.
Got it. I understand. So the different color is a choice. All right, I get it. Can I ask? Go ahead.
It's same. We also have a white one and we have a black one. They have same thing, and also in Caucasus. It's couple country in the Caucasus. Caucasus is a mount which is separate our country. I know, and this I know we like those small country, we all same, similar people, we all have the same traditional things.
I understand. Fighting out of Georgia, obviously it's been a good time for you guys. You have fighters like Roman Dolidze doing well, Liana Jojua. What's it been like to see more people from your country now also doing good in UFC?
Right. That of course, more Georgian fighters in UFC, of course, make me happy. This is big thing for our country. We are small country, and it's a mixed martial arts, is new sport, and I believe we will have a more great fighters in UFC. So things like this makes me happy, makes me motivate, and I'm so proud of Liana Jojoa. I'm proud of Giga Chikadze, Roman Dolidze, and it's there is more Georgian fighters. They just signed to UFC, and then I'm waiting for to see them.
If you win this fight, this only gets your win streak even bigger. In the rankings, you are very close to both Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera, which are obviously in the big fight this Saturday. Do you feel like if you win, that's the fight they're looking to set up by having you on the same card?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm ready for win, and I gotta win first. But yeah, we are like almost same ranked. Like we are close to ranked, and then yeah, we should fight. Why not? Like like Sean O'Malley, he never fight before top 15 guys. So now I think it's the time. I think I'm the next. And hopefully this fight can happen, but I have to win first, and I wish him best of luck. His fight, he has a tough fight. Marlon Vera is not easy fighter, and I wish them both luck.
My final question, you train with Aljo. I'm assuming, how excited are you to see him when they finally announce it? Him against Petr Yan or him fight Marlon Moraes, these big names at the top of the bantamweight division.
Oh, Aljo always been my motivate. I'm always look up to him. He's not only my friend, not only teammate. He's my training partner, and I look up always with him, and I know I'm so happy with him. He deserves it. He's the hardest worker. He's so talented, so strong. He has all skills to be champion, and he will be 100%. No question about it. So I'm so happy for him, and
Hey, thank you and good luck.
thank you so much.
And we will take our next question from Pablo Santamaria with Notima, Ecuador.
Hello, Merab. You will face a veteran like John Dodson. Do you think this will be the toughest opponent you have ever faced in your career?
Hello. Yes, 100%. He has much experience than me. Like he's been UFC a long time. He has win against TJ Dillashaw. He has wins against Pedro Muniz, and he's Ultimate Fighter champion. And then he's hard fighter for everyone. Like our weight class, he's running too much, and he has he's southpaw. It's a little. And then also he's tough fighter. Of course, he's biggest test for me.
Like you said before, you have shown interest in facing Sean O'Malley. What is your prediction for his fight against Chito?
It's gonna be tough one. I think first 2 rounds Sean has more chance, but and then third round maybe Chito Vera.
Thanks. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much.
We will take our next question from Augusto Niez-Gay with Somos MMA.
Hey, Merab, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. My first question, Merab, is how was the preparation for this fight? Did the COVID-19 situation affect you in any way?
Yeah, COVID-19 situation affect everybody. Of course, like gym being closed, but thank God, then I have a best team, and we still able to training together somehow. Like sometimes we go all Quintas garage, and we always meeting to each other team, or we help each other. And then this fight camp was much better, much good preparation, and I was sparring, and I was doing almost everything like what much as I can. But the fight before, I wasn't really training, but I take a fight 10 days notice. So this time much better.
And which type of fight do you imagine for Saturday night? What are we going to see? Are there any new tricks below your sleep?
Yeah, of course. I gotta show more new stuff. I think more striking, and then I gotta be patient. and it's gonna be good fight. Good fight. Dodson not easy to finish him, but I gotta show really hard fight, and I'm gonna left everything in the cage, and then it's gonna be nice to have a good looking fight, I think.
Well, and talking about the cage, you are an awesome wrestler. So, what do you think about the smaller cage of the Apex? Are you planning to use that in your favor?
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I like the small cage. It's a little weird because we used to be fight a big cage, and in my gym we also have a little big cage. It's a little different. I don't know. Like it sometimes affect good, sometimes it's more weird. And but I'm we are professional, and I gotta use for me, and then I gotta I have to be ready for it. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. You cannot say because of you wrestler, it's you know, I know it's hard to say for me.
Okay, and my last question. You have talked about John's experience inside the UFC. So, do you think it will become a factor on the fight, and how are you planning to deal with that?
Say again, please.
I was asking about the experience, John Dodson's experience in UFC, and how are you planning to deal with that? Do you think it can become a factor on the fight?
Yeah, I mean, of course, like because he has a lot of experience, and it's of course it's gonna be his favor. But I mean, I gotta fight hard. I gotta fight. I gotta do everything for win, and I think I have a better cardio, or I gotta. I mean, I have to die in the cage and win. I don't, you know, I don't wanna leave judge's hand. I wanna look good, and I wanna fight good and strong and hard.
Awesome. Good luck on Saturday, man.
Thank you so much.
We will take our last set of questions from Mike Bond with MMA Junkie.
Hey, Merab, I was curious. You just mentioned John's toughness, and you don't want to leave it to the judges. He's never been finished before. All 11 of his career losses by decision. What do you have to do to be the first man to finish him?
Yeah, I have to do everything. He's hard to finish, but it's everybody can lose, and it's everything happen, and I'm ready for do everything for finish and finish him. So I'm still saying it's not gonna be easy, but I will do everything for it. And my cardio good, and I'm training with the best training partners: Aljamain Sterling, Alaya Quinta, Matt Frevola, and like so many good guys, you know, upcoming guys, and I think I'm ready, and yeah, I will do everything for win this fight.
And right now you're tied with Demetrius Johnson, having 3 different UFC fights with 10 or more takedowns. Are you going to get 10 or more takedowns in this one?
Oh man, there's things that makes me happy. They mention my name with those legends, UFC legends, Demetrius Johnson, and I think it's Carlos Blade right there, and then what's his name, Kobe Covington, and yeah, mention my name with them. It's I'm so blessed, and I'm happy, but I'm not looking for this fight takedowns. I'm not looking for new record. I'm just looking for win. It's gonna be can be like knockout, can be submission. I mean, can be everything. Just I gotta do everything for win. I have some plans, but you know, let's see how fight goes.
Thanks, Merab. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Merab. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by UFC lightweight Jim Miller.
Okay.
We now welcome UFC lightweight Jim Miller. Jim, thank you for the time today, sir.
Thank you.
We will kick things off with Jay Anderson from Cage Side Press.
Thanks very much. And Jim, welcome back. We hear a lot about recovery time and its importance for athletes as they get older. Here you are, third fight this year. What has you back so soon?
The availability. You know, I'm a fighter that likes to fight. You know, if I could get 4-5 fights a year, I would do that consistently. You know, it's one of those things that there was a time period in my career where I needed a little bit of time off in between fights, but now it's just there's so many things that can pull me away from the gym that it's easier for me to just stay in it and, you know, have that fight in the future and just you know, keep going. You know, fortunately, I've been lucky enough to not really be dealing with any bad injuries. You know, I got the bumps and bruises like everybody else, and deal with nagging things that I've developed over a career in mixed martial arts. But yeah, just it's way easier for me to just stay into it and just, you know, keep my nose to the grindstone and you know, given the circumstances, there are a lot of cards, and it it just makes things easy.
You know, you said in the past, you know, you think you can make 40 fights, 50 might be pushing it, but when you do fight at this pace, does that change how many more you see yourself having left?
It hasn't yet. I mean, it might. Like I said, I haven't been dealing with anything, you know, that's been too bad lately. You know, I dealt with the shoulder injury from the Oliveira fight, and that's really the most recent thing that I've had to deal with. You know, doing physical therapy and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been easy enough for me to kind of just be in the gym and you know, like any fight can take a lot out of you, you know, and cause some damage, and any training session can do it as well. I mean, it's that's just the matter of fact. You know, that a lot of times, at least for me personally, a lot of the injuries that I deal with now are from training and not necessarily fights. So, yeah, it's just kind of, it's that double-edged sword. You know, it might catch up to me a little sooner, but at the same time, like I said, it's the hardest part for me now is if I fall out of shape, you know, I get kept away from the gym with, you know, family and business and everything else, and hobbies and you know, and having fun, and getting back into shape and kind of toning myself down and training easier and safer is hard for me. So yeah, for me, it's easier just to kind of just keep going and you know, and keep on trucking.
And you're doing that this weekend. Obviously, a dangerous fight against Vince from Helpichel. What does he bring to the table that does make him so dangerous?
You know, he doesn't get tired. You know, he just keeps coming forward. Yeah, you know, it's being 100% honest. Unfortunately, my conditioning has been one of those things that has suffered, you know, in the last couple of years. So it's something that I've been working on and trying to, you know, address. And it's one of those things that there's no excuse for it. But you know, I have gotten tired in some of these fights that I've lost, and yeah, you know, that's definitely something that he's got, and I have to go out and, you know, get the momentum early and keep it. And you know, I know that if I do that, you know, it's going to be a good fight for me. You know, I feel like he matches up well. I feel like I have an advantage really everywhere the fight goes.
And I imagine you will be hunting the submission in this, but how do you see yourself getting it done?
You know, I see myself landing some good shots on him and making him try to wrestle with me. You know, I've seen in some of his fights that when he does start absorbing some strikes, he reverts to, you know, just pressure wrestling and stuff like that. And, you know, when he comes forward, I feel like that's when I'm going to catch him.
And last one for me. You've been a part of some huge cards over the years, right back to like UFC 100 and everything. Big heavyweight title fight atop this. How do you see DC Stipe 3 going?
I don't know. You know, it's I'd say that I'd probably pulling for Stipe, but at the same time, man, for DC to go out on top, that'd be pretty awesome. You know, I said it when I was talking to Matt Serra the other day. Like, you know, I want to know going into my last fight that it's my last fight. I'm not going to make an emotional decision, have a crappy performance, and you know, and take my gloves off there in the octagon. That's not going to be me. I'm going to know, you know, in the lead up to that fight that it's my last one, and just thinking of that feeling that I hope that DC has with it, you know, it gets me pumped up. You know, having, you know, competed for a vast majority of my life, you know, and to know when I'm going to be hanging them up, at least from like something as big as, you know, what MMA has had on my life, as big of an impact it's had on my life. It's going to be an awesome feeling making that last walk to the octagon. And yeah, I mean, if I were in his shoes, I'd be on cloud nine right now, just excited really to be able to like kind of drink it in, because there's nothing else after this. So you might as well go out, you know, and fight your heart out.
All right. Well, thanks for everything. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
We will take our next questions from Augusto Niez-Gay with Somos MMA.
Hi, Jim. How are you? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Jim, you have a ton of experience. You've been over a lot of circumstances during your career, but this is your second fight in this particular pandemic situation. So are you getting used to the new procedures and the new fight week?
You know, it got changed up a little bit on me this time. You know, last fight week was a little bit different than this one. Things are a little bit tighter this time around. You know, for me, I get such like tunnel vision when I'm fighting that I barely hear my corner. I have to kind of be in that little section of the octagon in order to hear my corner. I never hear them if I'm on the opposite side of the octagon. So for me, fighting with no fans last time, it was really it doesn't really matter, you know, like especially with a fight like that where I went out and, you know, in a half a round it's over. I can imagine that being in a tough fight where, you know, you're going into the final round and you're tired and bleeding and this and that, and not having that roar of the crowd would be something that would affect me. I hope not, but you know, it definitely does give you that energy when you're in those fights. But yeah, the whole procedures thing, like I'm the type of guy that I just sit in my room anyway. You know, I'm just focused on drinking a ton of water and then cutting weight, you know, and then fighting on Saturday. So I'm not the type of fighter that goes out and goes to the movies or goes to the mall or anything like that and kind of sees the sights, unfortunately. But yeah, so for me, it's really no different than really any other fight.
And is there anything that you miss about the fights before the pandemic? Maybe the crowd?
Yeah, hell yeah, I miss the crowd. You know, I mean, that's one of the things too. Like going back to that retirement talk with, you know, with DC's fight. Like I don't know if I could do it without a crowd. Like I've fought so many times in front of the fans that I don't know if I would want to have my last one in this atmosphere. You know, I feel like it's something that I'd want to share, but yeah, it is different. It kind of, it sucks. It sucks not fighting, you know, or fighting without the fans here, you know. But you know, I've always said that I'd fight, you know, anybody, anywhere, and prove it by going into an empty arena and fighting guys there. So it's awesome to have the fans on your side, and it's awesome to just hear them and you get energy from it. But it's not why I fight. It's just a positive of fighting and putting on good fights.
And is there anything you like about all these new fight weeks? Is there anything that you say this could be implemented in the future?
You know, I mean, it's definitely it's cool. Like it's fun sometimes to hang out at the fights afterwards. But last time, coming out fighting, banging out some press, and then just being in the car and going back to the hotel room to take a shower and and have a beer. That was pretty cool. I suppose I could do that anytime, any one of the fights, unless there was a press conference. But yeah, it's I kind of like that because we were, at a casino going to a steakhouse when the main event was it's still in the first round at that last one. So I can't really complain about that. I thought that was pretty cool.
And my last one, you have been talking about DC, about hanging the gloves, and I really enjoyed to see you fight. So please tell me that we are pretty far from seeing your last fight.
We are. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be Saturday night, but yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty focused on hitting 40 right now, and then there's that side of me that's like, well, I get to 40, and that's another year and a half or so, and UFC 300's sneaking up on us. So that would I'd be in my 40s at that point, but we'll see how it goes. I'm feeling really good right now. There's nothing, not dealing with anything major, and yeah, it's I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying training, even in this. There are the aspects of it that that do suck, like not having my students at the gym, but kind of like condensing training sessions and stuff like that just to minimize the amount of traffic at the gym and this and that. It's been pretty cool. So I'm really enjoying the process that we have going on right now, and like I said, my body's responding to it well. So we're gonna keep on rolling.
Okay, great to hear that, and it was awesome to talk with you. Thank you very much, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
We will take our next question from Dada with Sports Key.
Jim, how you doing? Hello?
Is that me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey Jim, how you doing?
Hi. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. So first thing I wanted to ask you was, you've already fought once in an empty arena back in June. You'll be doing once again this weekend. So having competed in so many fights in the UFC, what is the experience of fighting in an arena with no audience?
For me, it wasn't that different because the fight was short. Like I said before, if I was in a fight like that first fight with Lozon or something like that, or my fight with Poirier, where you're just in it. It's a scrap, and you're bleeding, you're limping, you're hurt, and you're going back to the corner, and there's no crowd roaring or cheering. It gives you a rush. It gives you an energy rush. So to not have that, I think would suck. But yeah, fortunately, like my last fight, I didn't need that, and my plan is to not need it again. Come Saturday. So yeah, it's when I step into the octagon, I don't see outside the octagon. I barely hear anything. All I hear kind of is just like static during the fight. Occasionally, I'll hear my corner yelling at me. So for me, it's like it doesn't matter if there was 1 million fans or if there weren't any. All I focus on is that guy standing in front of me.
So last time around, you fought a young up-and-comer in Roosevelt Roberts, but this time it'll be a veteran like Vince Mitchell. So what's it like for you to fight someone who's almost as experienced as you are?
It's a fight. Everybody's dangerous. Roosevelt was dangerous, and Vince, is going to be dangerous. So, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many fights the guy's been in. You know, like the way I look at it is that I fought just about everybody. You know, from guys who went on to become world champions and guys who were former world champions, and you know, from third-degree black belts in jiu-jitsu and phenomenal strikers. So it's I fought them all. I've seen everything. You know, so for me, you know, Vince he is older than Roosevelt, and he has been in the UFC for a bit, but he hasn't fought the guys that I fought. So I feel like I do have a massive experience advantage, but at the same time, it doesn't really mean anything when it comes right down to it. You know, I've seen everything, so I'm not going to overreact to things and you know, get caught off guard. But yeah, and when it comes down to a fight, it really doesn't matter all the time.
So, final question from me. This will be a third fight of this year, but given that you're in your mid-30s right now, is there a particular goal you have in your mind of how many fights you want to have in a year?
I like to fight, you know, every 3 months or so. You know, if I got to fight as often as I would have liked to, you know, I'd probably already be at 40 fights in the UFC. You know, unfortunately, I have had to deal with, you know, getting shelved a little bit here and there, you know, waiting for New York cards or Newark cards, stuff like that. So, yeah, I like to fight. It's easier for me to stay in the gym and just keep training and keep improving myself and stay in shape than to have that period of time off where I just get pulled out of the gym for whatever reason, you know. You know, some really good ones and some, you know, some not as good, like just messing around in my shop or something like that. So, you know, it's yeah, it's just easier for me to keep fighting. So, you know, hopefully I'm going to have a good night on Saturday, come out of this one healthy, and I'd like to fight, you know, maybe end of the year card.
Well, thank you for your time and good luck for your fight this week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim. That is all the time we had for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
And next up, we will be by UFC bantamweight John Dodson.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I was like, yeah, we're with.
We now welcome the number 12 ranked UFC bantamweight contender in the world, John Dodson. John, thank you for the time today, sir.
No problem. Thank you for having me on.
We will take the first. Of course. We will take the first questions from Anderson with Cage Side Press.
Okay.
John, and welcome back. What's fight week been like you so far? The whole experience of the testing, the lack of fans, the whole environment. How's that treating you?
Well, it's treating me very well because of the fact that I brought my Xbox in. I have been killing it playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare's Warzone and Mortal Kombat 11. I'm making sure I am staying occupied, not being too bored, and training on the other hand as well.
Now, is that how
you?
you
Fancy apartment that I get to stay away from home.
Is that how you normally treat fight? Like, well, we just talked to Jim Miller, and he said, I don't normally go out. I don't normally check out the sites anyways. Do you normally stay in the room anyways, play a little game?
No. I like to go walk around and be a tourist because, it helps me with, one, being pretending like it's still an active workout, and the two, I just like to get my mind off of, one, food, my opponent, what could possibly happen, what I'm going to do, where I'm going to spend my money at. But I like to just sightsee.
Fair enough. And now we're going to ask you about your opponent and what you're going to do. First of all, Merab, he's ranked 15th right now. Maybe flew a little bit under the radar, but a dangerous guy. What are your thoughts on him?
He's a very dangerous opponent. He likes to go ahead and set records for the most consecutive takedowns in one fight. But the hardest thing that he's going to have to do is be able to go ahead and keep me down on the ground, or even try to get me taken down. We've seen my track record. I don't get taken down that much, and when I do, I get hop right back up, and I'm like a little spring. I'm like the little jack in a box that pops out every single time, and I'm going to surprise him with a few 1-2 combinations that, might eventually end the night pretty early for me.
Since you entered the UFC, you've had kind of this positive energy about you. What's been the key to maintaining that?
Well, it sucks to be sad. Everybody wants to sit there and drain on all the negative things, but I just figured out being happy is the easiest way to look at it. If you look at all the positive things in life, then you can enjoy it every step of the way. So that's how I maintain my career as well. I want to make sure I can stay super positive, super outgoing, and I just want to live life instead of sitting there being killed by so much negativity and hurtful words of anybody that has to push on upon me.
With that in mind, we talk about fighters who are the best guys who have never won gold in the UFC. That's something you haven't accomplished yet. You had the 2 shots against Mighty Mouse. You did win the Ultimate Fighter. If your career were to end tomorrow, would you be as satisfied with how it all played out?
Absolutely not. Because I had sat there and told people that I'm going to win titles in multiple divisions, and I haven't secured one. So I need to go ahead and make sure the best move for myself and be able to get those titles. I want that title 125, 135, 145. And if I can't do it right now, I'm definitely going to keep on doing it until I eventually can. And I'm going to train even harder to make sure that I can go ahead and do it. I'll make the adjustments and be the fighter that the world wants to see. And not only the world, but the UFC.
And I was going to ask you about that. Obviously, you need to focus on Saturday at Merab, but so you are keeping an eye on the flyweight division and everything that's been going on there, because it seems like there might be some opportunity there.
Well, there is opportunity out there because they got a champion that is very wishy-washy on his weight. I don't know if he can make it, if he's going to go in the bout against Cody Garbrandt at 125 or a catch weight at 132. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, best of luck this weekend and everything else down the road.
Oh, thank you. See you later.
We will take our next questions from Pablo Santamaria with Notima, Ecuador.
Hello, John. How are you?
I'm very good. And yourself?
Your last fights have been against the best of the division, so you come from a victory against a prospect like Nathaniel Wood. With what mentality do you come to this hard fight?
Well, the same mentality that I had to go in with against Nathaniel Woods. Everybody wants to put all these prospects in front of me, so I have to keep on knocking them down. I will continue to fight the best fighters in the world to keep on showing everybody that I am the greatest one from all times. The only reason that Peter Yan beat me is because I was tired, and look at him now. That dude got a world title around his waist. That could be me. So if I can go ahead and sit down this dude, I'll sit down everyone else.
Okay, Merab is a good fighter with excellent wrestling. Do you think he will have problems trying to take you down? And if you manage to keep the fight on the feet, you think you can finish him?
I believe I can finish anybody in the world. I will keep this fight standing up because Merab's wrestling is not compared to mine. He has very good wrestling attacks. What my wrestling defense and what has kept me in the UFC has been just that. I can either dictate the fight standing up or on the ground, and I can control the pace however I want to. So I do believe that I will knock him out on Saturday night.
Thank you very much, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
We'll take our next questions from Adrian Gallardo with Bavel, Argentina.
Cool.
Hello, John. How are you? First question is, how was the preparation for this fight? What do you think about your rival, Merab?
Man, the preparation for this fight is I had to get taken down, and then taken down, and then get taken down, and they get taken down, and they get taken down, and they get taken down. It just keeps on going down like that. I had to just keep on popping back up every single time. Like it's a lot of getting taken down, getting back up, and getting taken down, get back up, and now somebody has to suffer for all that training of having to get back up onto my feet. I'm going to hit this man into oblivion.
Okay. Obviously, the important thing in this fight of the Saturday, obviously the important thing is the fight of the Saturday. But if you win, what would you like for your career in the future for yourself?
Well, what I like is for them to go ahead and stop disrespecting me and saying that I am a lower ranked fighter when I know I'm an upper class fighter. I have never been lower than the top 15, and being in the top, like being number 12 right now is kind of an insult. I would need to be back in the top 5 and showcasing my skills on why I need to have a belt around my waist, and I'll showcase it on Saturday night.
Okay, and the last question is,
yes,
Merab have a great wrestling, but what do you think about, or what do you think are their weakness of Merab?
Well, Merab's weakness is 1, he's not as good looking as me. 2, he has shorter arms than I do. And 3, he's definitely way slower than I
am. Thank you, Sean, and good luck for the Saturday.
Oh, thank you.
And we will take our last set of questions from Jose Ignacio Cruz.
Hello, John, do you hear me?
Oh, I hear you perfectly clear. Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you, brother. How you doing?
I was making sure because this ugly face needs to be seen by somebody.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, man, I just wanted to know, I love your energy every time you come to fight. It's something all the fans, we look forward to. I was thinking about, how do you feel this affects you? Is this your first time fighting amongst the MX? So you won't have that energy to feed off the crowd, right? So what's your feelings about that? I think it's something that...
Did you forget when I sat there and won a little TV show called The Ultimate Fighter? There was nobody in the crowd.
Of course, I saw that.
I went out there and destroying everybody with pure silence, and everyone got to see the brutality that I had to offer. Since there's no crowd, everybody can hear all the punches that I'm going to land, and they're gonna hear the thud of him whining and crying about getting hit by me all the time. And when he tries taking me down, you can be expected to hear me saying, no, I don't like that. Stop, don't do that. It's gonna sound like a little girl trying to escape those villains in the middle of the night.
Magician with the sharp tongue, ladies and gentlemen. So, how do you feel your wrestling stacks up? You said that you've been going through takedown after takedown after takedown after takedown.
Well, he continues.
And we will continue to it, right?
He's gonna continue. Like his nickname is the Machine. He's programmed to only do takedowns. So, what's the best aspects of a magician? Is that I can have the full range of creativity to destroy his world of simple commands. I am the greatest fighter that he will ever step into octagon with, because I know I can end it tonight by making sure that his role to being the title champion contender is going to be replaced by me.
You're definitely coming in with a chip on your shoulder, man. The best of luck. Yes. Best of luck, man. We love you here in Chile, man.
Oh, thank you, boss. I love y'all too.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, John. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Oh, no problem, boss. Thank you for having me on.
Next up, we will be joined by UFC heavyweight Junior Dos Santos. We are now joined by former UFC heavyweight champion and number 5 ranked contender Junior Dos Santos. Junior, thank you for the time today, sir.
Thank you.
We will take our first question from Gustavo Falden with ESPN Brazil.
Fala, Cigano, tudo bom?
Tudo bem, você?
Também. Primeiramente, tem gente falando aí que nessa luta entre você e o Jairzinho não precisa nem treinar cardio, porque do primeiro round ela não passa, né?
Tem grandes possibilidades aí de não durar muito essa luta aí. Os dois têm mão pesada e peso pesado, né, batendo forte assim, se a mão entrar já era.
E qual que é a inspiração desse seu bigode aí agora?
Isso aqui é da pandemia. Desde o início da pandemia eu comecei a deixar o bigode. No início não agradou muito, mas agora acho que já acostumaram, eu também, então estou deixando.
Mas o que sua mulher e os filhos acharam do bigode?
Minha mulher no início não gostava muito não, mas agora já acostumou, como eu falei. Meus filhos gostam. Eles ficam, o Bento fica pegando, brincando.
E o que você tem a dizer sobre o seu adversário, né, o Jairzinho, que é um cara que até pouco tempo atrás aí estava invicto, muita gente até apostava que ele poderia disputar um cinturão em breve aí.
Duríssimo, cara duríssimo, com poder de nocaute absurdo, um cara que responde, né, com bastante agressividade todos os ataques que você faz aí contra ele. Não é à toa que foi a primeira derrota dele que ele acabou sofrendo na última luta. E também foi uma coisa, né, meio que pode acontecer, a mão entrou, né, como eu falei, a mão entrou, caiu, não significa que ele era naquela noite, a noite, né, foi ruim para ele, mas não significa que ele era o pior lutador ali, vamos dizer. Mas é um cara duro e que eu treinei muito para poder chegar no sábado à noite e vencer a luta contra ele.
E para finalizar da minha parte, Cigano, recentemente o Dana White disse que na luta de cinturão, né, do pesado agora, do Miocic e do Cormier, vai ficar definido quem que é o maior de todos os tempos do pesado, ali, entre os pesados do UFC. Você concorda com isso ou você, né, se coloca ali na conversa também, ou outro cara da história do UFC ali?
Eu acho que eu concordo, acho que os dois, né, assim... o histórico assim dos dois é bom, então de momento pode até ser, mas só por enquanto, até eu chegar lá.
Beleza, valeu, Cigano. Thank you, guys.
And we will take our next question from Andrew Whitelaw with Whitelaw Sport.
This week about the greatest heavyweights of all time. I just wondered what your opinion is on it. Who do you think is the greatest MMA heavyweight?
Who's the greatest? Well, it's hard to say, but I would say Fedor Emelianenko. He did amazing things back in the day. I'm a big fan of him, so I'll keep myself with him for now.
Well, yeah. Where do you put your own achievements on that list of greatest ever heavyweights?
Right there on top. Among the best. And I'm very proud of my career. I'm very proud of everything what I did on this sport. I'm only 36 years old, so I still have a lot of time to go. And like they're saying, this guy, the winner of Miocic and Cormier will be the best UFC heavyweight ever, just for now. I agree with that, but just for now. Maybe, maybe no. As soon as I get there, we'll change that.
You think the winner of DC Stipe surpasses Fedor?
Can you repeat that?
You think the winner of DC and Stipe surpasses Fedor then?
Well, it's hard to say, man. Yeah, we could say, for this new era, they will be the guy. Fedor is in the past already, so the moment guy is one of them. I agree with that.
And how close an eye will you be keeping on that main event, just in terms of a future opponent for yourself?
Well, yeah, I'll keep my eye on that for sure, and I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but after this winning over Rozenstruik, I wanna I want to have a next fight very soon, you know, and I want to build up my way to the belt again. And I no doubts one, like 2 or 3 more fights, I'll get my chance to fight for the title again. Doesn't matter who's the champion.
Good luck, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will take our next questions from Gabriel Gonzalez from Cageside Press.
Hey, Junior, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Junior, can you set the record straight? What happened on Dancing with the Stars Brazil? Were you eliminated and then they brought you back?
No, I wasn't eliminated. I had a bacteria infection on my leg, and I had to pull out of the show for for a little bit. But I recovered in time to come back. But then I was eliminated, and I placed 5th on the whole competition. You know, it was really good. You know, I was competing with 11 other people, and for me that was great, man. I'm not a dancer, you know. I never danced before, and in my opinion, I did great.
You know, there's 2 other big-name UFC fighters who have done the show, Chuck Liddell and Paige Van Sant. Do you think you're the best, or where do you think you fall in? Who did the best on Dancing with the Stars in MMA?
I don't really know, but I did great. You know, maybe better than Paige Van Sant. I'm not, but better than Chuck Liddell for sure. I am. Yeah.
I hear you. What has been the secret? Because Junior, in the last few years, you know, this is going to be Cormier's last fight. Cain Velasquez is retired. And Junior Dos Santos is still out here, still fighting the best heavyweights in the world. What's the secret?
Truth. Everything here with Junior Dos Santos is based on truth. So that's why I'm here, and I'm still here, and I'll keep here, you know, for a long time yet. I'm just 36 years old, man. I still have a lot to do, you know. I was realizing, you know, I didn't even used my full power on fighting. You know, I have so many tools, man. I'm very like well-rounded fighter. You know, I can use fighting different ways. You know, so I have to let's say not impose limits to myself and use everything what I got. So yeah, you will still hear a lot about Junior Dos Santos.
Everyone talked about your pictures on Instagram. He's looking, you know, slimmer. He's trimmed down. He's bringing down his body fat. I don't need to tell you, there's some big, strong guys at heavyweight. Why did you make the decision more cut weight rather than bulk up?
Because more weight doesn't mean that you're stronger, or, you know, not for me, actually. You know, the biggest difference of me among the other heavyweights is the speed. I'm much faster than them, you know, and I have to be able to use that, you know, on my favor. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fast. I'm feeling fast. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling able to use all my skills.
The last one from me. A lot of people have an opinion about your mustache. Is it going to be on your face when you get in the cage Saturday?
Yeah, for sure you will. You know, I'll keep this thing. You know, I'm like, you know, I don't know. I just like it. You know, some people don't. But I don't know why. You know, it feels good to have it here.
You make it look good, Junior. Good luck.
Thank you.
We will take our next questions from Sumik Dada with Sportskeeda.
Hey, Junior. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, doing well.
So, in the lead up to this fight, you had a few losses, but from here onwards, how many wins do you think you're going to need for yourself before you could challenge for the heavyweight title once again?
Not many. I think 2, 3 wins, you know, over top guys. You know, I'll be able to fight for the title again. You know, yeah. If you think in the short term, you know, I'm coming from 2 negative results, but I look the whole thing. You know, I have a lot of experience. and I'm here for more than a decade on in the UFC, fighting against the top guys. And I'm all the time, I'm a top 5 guy all this time, more than a decade. I'm among the top 5 guys, and I'll keep doing this kind of work, and I'll keep bothering these guys. And very soon, I have no doubts, I'll become the champion again.
So, what are your thoughts on your opponent, Jairzinho Rozenstruik? Given there is this massive difference in experience between the two of you in UFC, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I think Jairzinho is a tough opponent. He hits very hard. He's a counter striker. So you have to be very careful with everything you do against him. But I'm ready for that. I know that we are cautious about his power, his skills. So we have been training very hard, for this fight. And on Saturday night, I'll give the best of me to beat him.
So, last question that I had: you've been around in the UFC for over a decade now. So you've had many fights before, but if you had to revisit one of these fights and have a rematch with any of the opponents you faced in the past, who would it be?
In the UFC? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have, after this fight, after this win over Jairzinho, I was thinking about that, having a rematch with Francis Ngannou, if not possible, Curtis Blades, if not possible, even Stipe Miocic, the champion, which would be good, because I think he's gonna win he's gonna keep himself as a champion. If none of these are possible, then anyone, any fight, I'll take any fight that makes sense for me. Looking that I wanted to evolve, I wanted to get better and to get there, to fight for the title again. So I'm the type of guy who when I say I don't pick opponents, this is true. I really follow this thing. I really do this. I don't pick opponents, because many people come and say this, but then they don't want to fight this guy, they don't want to fight that guy. But I'm here to fight with the best, and I'll fight anyone.
Thank you so much, and good luck for your fight.
Thank you.
And we will take our next questions from Pablo Santamaria with Notima, Ecuador.
Hello, Junior. It's a pleasure to greet you.
Hey, hello. Thank you.
You come from 2 consecutive losses against top opponents. With what mentality you arrive at this fight, and what are your expectations for this fight?
Yeah, if you look in a short term, if you look in a short term, a short period of time, you can see that I'm coming from 2 losses. But man, I'm more than a decade here in the UFC, and all the time among the top 5. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I take in consideration, for this fight and for everything what I do in my life. And I know my opponent is very tough. Jairzinho Rozenstruik is very tough. But I've been training very hard, to win this. And on Saturday night, I'll do everything with it, give 100% of me to get that victory.
You are in a tremendous physical state, and you look strong, and the mustache is looking good. In which areas do you think you are better than Jairzinho?
You think what?
In which areas do you think you are better than Jairzinho?
Everywhere. I think I'm better than him everywhere, on the striking game, ground game, any type of game. I think I'm better than him, and I'm gonna try to show. I'm gonna try. No, I will show you guys on Saturday night that, and thank you, yeah, for the body and the stash.
I appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
We will take our next question from Jose Ignacio Cruz.
Hey, Junior, do you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Good. Good to see you too. Actually, I'm not seeing you, but good to talk to you.
Great. Hey, I was wondering, there was talks about that mustache. Let's start on a lighter note. I love the fact that you're using a mustache. I sport one myself. What's your inspiration for that glorious mustache? Are you trying to aim for the Tom Sellecks, or do you have any other inspiration for that glorious mustache?
Well, this is a pandemic mustache. As soon as the pandemic started, I let my mustache grow, and at the beginning nobody really liked it, but with the time I think people get used to it, and even me. So now I like it, and it's gonna stay here for a little bit.
Yeah, it looks great on you, man.
Thank you.
I was wondering, in order to get to the fight, where do you see yourself in the case that you get a finish in this match? Do you see yourself in the mix for a title shot on the line down the road, or are you hoping to get any other of those rematches you were talking about earlier on?
Yeah, of course. Actually, I don't really know what's going to happen after this fight, which is happening now between Miocic and Cormier. So I think the next in line is Ngannou or whatever. But my intention is to keep myself active. After this win over Rozenstruik, I wanna fight again as soon as possible. If it's for the title, that's great. I don't think it's gonna be, but if it is, that's great. I'll be very happy to be fighting for the title. If not, I want a rematch with Ngannou or Curtis Blades. If not, I'll fight anyone. That makes sense. Of course, I want to evolve. I wanted to get better and get my chance to fight for the title again.
I was wondering about your recent fatherhood. How does everything around fatherhood changes you when it comes to fighting? Because you talked about your wife being not really getting used to it at first and then making peace with it. But how do you feel being a father now and entering the octagon?
Well, it's a blast, man, to be father. It's a blast. I'm living the best moment of my life with my kids and everything else what's happening around me. It's just amazing. But of course, I have like many friends. They were father and they used to give me advices before. I'm a father. So they used to tell me that I would get much more stronger, or I would be more aggressive or something like this after I become father. And I don't really think it happened with me. I don't know if I'm in a wrong way or something, because when I became father, things changed in a very positive, in a very, very good way. But I became more cautious about myself. I'm more careful. I don't do things, just for doing like stupid things. And sometimes I don't know, I feel like I have to take care of me, because now it's not just me or my wife. Now I have my kids who depend on me. So I have this type of feeling, that I have to be more careful. But I have to say that I'm living the best moment of my life, the happiest, the biggest, everything.
That's beautiful, man. Best of luck on your fight. One final little question. I'm from Chile in South America. Have you ever been here?
No, I've never been there, but I want to go one day. Yeah.
Okay, so give me a call and we'll set it up. I'll show you all the cool places, man. Good luck on your fight. Muito obrigado, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Junior. That is actually all the time we had for you, sir. You are good to go.
All done.
All done. Perfect.
And next up, we will be joined by UFC bantamweight Sean O'Malley. We now welcome the number 14 ranked UFC bantamweight contender in the world, Sean O'Malley. Sean, thank you for the time today, sir.
Yep.
We will kick things off with Gabriel Gonzalez from Cageside Press.
Hey, Sean.
Hi.
So, to put it bluntly, you get called out a lot. And I want to know, how much of it do you think is guys trying to use your name to boost themselves? And how much is it they're just hating on the fact that you're a young guy getting all the attention?
Probably a little bit of both. You know, you call out someone with a big name, that just makes sense. You know, I think that's why Conor got called out a lot. You know, you fight, like, Cheeto's getting a co-main event spot because he's fighting me. So it's not that he called me out, but you fight me and you get... You know, he's fighting on a co-main event, so it makes sense. It never, you know, I never think of it as personal. It's business. It's what they should be doing. If they can't, you know, get as big as a fan base as I can with their performances, they're gonna try to beat me. So it makes sense.
You've gotten to see a lot of fighters, I'm sure, just as a fan and now being in the sport, make that jump from prospect to contender. Is there anybody's rise you remember watching that you were like, you know what? I want to have something like that epic jump in competition and become a star?
I think, you know, obviously Conor's career went well. Israel Adesanya's career went well, and I feel like I'm on a similar path like that.
Your nickname is Sugar. Do you have a favorite post-fight dessert?
Dessert, I don't know. Usually pizza is just kind of the first thing that I'm craving after weigh-ins. I want pizza for after the fight.
What kind of toppings are we serving up on it?
I don't care. Anything with cheese and the crust, and it could be, yeah, pretty much any kind of pizza would do after.
My final question, obviously with the pandemic, you know, there's no telling when things will go back to normal. Coronavirus clears up tomorrow. Where would you want to go fight first?
Vegas. T-Mobile.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will take our next questions from Gustavo Falden with ESPN Brazil.
Hi, Sean. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, where do you get inspiration to go to the colors you dye your hair? Where does that come from?
The inspiration I got to color my hair, but I have to say, was from Cheeto. Gave me the inspiration.
And what about the colors? Do you intend on changing, like, more regular the colors? What do they represent, the colors?
I'm just showing my Ecuadorian fans some love. I think every fight we'll just do a little something different and you know, have a nice little theme. It's something I look forward to, and it's fun. So.
You intend on dyeing your hair on the Brazilian colors maybe one day?
If I'm fighting a Brazilian, yeah.
And some people have compared you to Conor McGregor, your fighting style, maybe your chest tattoo. What do you think about that? Do you think that you do inspire yourself on Conor? Do you see yourself similar in fighting styles?
We're pretty similar in fighting styles. You know, we knock people out in the first round, and we aren't afraid to say how we feel the fight's going to play out. We have similar styles. We're explosive strikers, and I knock people out in the first round, and he knocks people out in the first round. So yeah, I think there's similarity there.
And you said that you started on MMA because of the girls. Is that correct?
Still reason I'm doing it.
And what is do you have a girlfriend or not?
Yep.
What does she think about that?
She's pumped. She's there's no issue there.
And my last one, if you win your fight on Saturday, would you like request a top contender like Jose Aldo, maybe Marlon Moraes or Cody?
Yeah, I think it totally depends how I go out there and finish Cheeto. I go win a decision. You know, I don't get that next big fight name. I don't think. You know, I could, because if I win a decision, it'll be a very impressive decision. But if I go out there and starch him, I think I get whoever I want.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thank you.
And we'll take our next questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Sean, what's up, buddy? I know we talked before about the mental warfare and kind of how you're mastering that art with the hair, doing the Ecuadorian flag. Are you kind of having fun with that? And I know Cheeto said it doesn't bother him, but you kind of enjoy that, just that little dig of the Ecuadorian flag in your hair.
Yeah, I didn't think it would really bother him. If me changing my hair color got in his head, you know, that might be too easy of a fight. I don't think it's gonna bother. You know, I'm not doing it to get into his head. It's just for fun. The fans love it. The media, you know, it's something to talk about. Last time I did my hair, it was, you know, that was the whole fight week was about my hair. So, you know, just, you know, it's something to talk about, and it's just showing some love.
When watching Embedded this week, before you left for Vegas, we saw the setup you have at your house with your Twitch setup, and you have the background with the Sugar Show and everything. You know, obviously your focus is fighting, and you've always said that to me. Fighting comes first, but you are treating this also as a business. I mean, how do you balance that in your head? Because you understand that doing the things you're doing are helping you get that attention. I'm sure eventually getting you higher contracts, better sponsorships, opportunities, things like that. But at the end of the day, you need to go out and win fights. So how do you balance that in your head?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of free time being a professional athlete. Say you train twice a day, you still have a good amount of free time during the day, and I just capitalize on that with the Timbo Sugar Show podcast, with my Twitch stream, with my own little YouTube things that I do. It's, you know, you have a lot of free time, and I just capitalize on that. And you know, you can make money doing all those things, and I enjoy doing all those things. So it just makes sense for me to do stuff like that.
When you hear, you know, some, whether it's fighters or whoever, complaining that you're getting so much attention and you're getting co-main events and, you know, things like that, do you feel like that, you know, other people just aren't taking advantage of the things that you're taking advantage of, like your Twitch stream, like, you know, all the things you're doing to get yourself the attention? Like, it's not like you're doing it by accident. You're doing it to get the attention.
Well, you say I'm not streaming or doing anything I'm doing, but I'm still knocking people out. That's why I'm in the co-main event spot. Not because I stream, not because I have 1 million followers on Instagram, not because of anything else. It's because I'm knocking people out and putting their lights out. That's what it is. You knock out, like I knocked out Alfred, made Snoop Dogg go crazy. You know, I knock out Jose Quinones on my 2-year comeback. I knock out Eddie Wineland, opening up the big pay-per-view. It's not because I'm doing anything other than knocking people out.
And last thing for me, Sean, you know, when you get to this level where you are, you know, on that path to stardom, and I think a lot of people would say you're already a star, but you know, the flip side of that is with stardom also comes that fame. And we've seen a lot of people kind of crumble under that fame, whether it's getting in trouble outside the cage or just, you know, that spotlight constantly being on them, never having a moment of peace to yourself. How do you feel like you're adjusting to that part of life where you kind of know at all times you're under the microscope?
Yeah, I think I'm doing good with it. It's not, you know, if I want to not stream or not do the podcast or not make a YouTube video, I can stay home and get away from everything. So it does. I don't feel like I'm trapped in it. I feel like if I need to get away from it, I can. And I do enough to where I'm not too stressed out. But yeah, I think I'm handling it well, and I think I kind of was able to prepare for it. Those 2 years I was off after that Andre fight, I got a little bit of notoriety and fame, breaking my foot and continuing to fight. And you know, I think those 2 years off, I got to think a lot about it and understand that I have to just stay grounded, keep the same circle around me, and keep doing what I'm doing and enjoy life and enjoy the little things in life to keep me humble.
Thank you, Sean. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
We will take our next questions from Augusto Niez-Gay from Somos MMA.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
Hi.
First of all, how are you adapting to this different fight week and the pandemic situation? Are you getting used to the new procedures and all that?
Yeah, I did it 2 months ago. nothing really changed. So it's you know, it really does. It feels like we didn't even leave Vegas. You know, went back to Phoenix, trained, came back. So it doesn't feel like we really left.
Is there anything that you miss from the life before the pandemic?
Literally, the only thing, if I could change anything, would have fans in the stands, and that's it. Other than that, you know, life for me is pretty normal. You know, I enjoy life still. Nothing really changes too much.
And talking about the fight, is there any aspect of Chito's fighting skills that you think you should be careful of?
He's in the UFC. He's tough. He's beat people in the UFC. He's finished people. He's in the UFC, and he's never been finished. So he's all around. It's a tough fight. It's a good fight. He's my toughest opponent to date. And with that said, I'll probably still drop him in the first round.
Okay, and if you win on Saturday, when would you like to come back to the octagon?
To be determined. We'll see. It depends how the fight plays out. Depends how healthy I am after. Depends who's coming off a win. It's too hard to say and for me to predict right now.
And my last one, Merab Dvalishvili said a few moments ago that if both of you win your respective bouts on Saturday, a fight between you two would make sense. What do you think about that?
We'll see.
Okay, thank you very much and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
We'll take our next questions from Pablo Santamaria with Notima, Ecuador.
Hello, Shang. How are you?
Good. How are you?
As an Ecuadorian, I want to ask you, why did you decide to paint your hair the color of the Ecuadorian flag?
For you.
Many people see it as a provocation for Chito, but others think that you're showing respect not only for Chito, but for the whole country.
Yeah, I you know, it's just, they're cool colors, and it just happened to play out that we went with those colors. I'm just showing the Ecuadorian fans some love. I get messages all the time, and just showing some love.
You want to send some message or say something to your Ecuadorian fans?
I love you guys. My hair is the color of you guys' flag, so you know that's a sign of respect. I'm showing the love. Someone, you know, you guys got to go for someone after I bust up Chito. Might as well go for me.
Okay, talking about the fight, do you think Chito is going to try to take you down, or he's going to keep the fight on the field?
Yeah, he's gonna try to take me down. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I knock people out. So I think that it's a striker versus grappler matchup. So yeah, absolutely. I think he's gonna try to push me up against the fence, trip me, and work on top.
So what is your prediction for the fight? Do you think you will be the first person to finish Chito?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you know, as fast as a starter as I am and as slow as he is, I think that equals a first round knockout.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Amazing job on YouTube and all the stuff you are doing. So good luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
And we will take our next questions from Sumik Dada with Sports Kita.
John, hope you're doing good, man.
Hey.
So for this fight, you've had a different training camp of sorts. You said that you got your own cage now. So how has been this training camp different with everything that's going around right now?
I'd say it improved a lot of things. It made it more like a boxing training camp where it was all individualized for specifically me for specifically August 15th. So, you know, if anything, it's been the best camp I've ever had.
So has there been any significant changes to the camp given the change of surroundings?
Instead of grappling at a jiu-jitsu gym or you know, hit mitts on the mats, we've done all of our training in the cage. I got a cage, we put it in a warehouse, and we've done all of our sessions in there, and it's the same size as the Apex cage. So I think that was very beneficial.
So ever since you made your return to the UFC, things have gone by at a pretty fast pace for you. You fought at 248, then at UFC 250, and now another quick return at 252. So do we expect you to keep up with this frequency of fights, keep up with this pace?
completely depends. Got to go out there and do what I do Saturday night. First round knockout, no injuries. Yeah, there's a potential quick turnaround. But we'll see. There's just so much that can happen during a fight that it's hard to predict what's next. And it's Wednesday. I got a couple days until it's Saturday. I'm laser focused Saturday for Cheeto.
So last question from me. What are your thoughts on being the co-main event of such a historic card?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect co-main event for a legendary card. Stipe DC is the biggest trilogy fight ever at heavyweight, the baddest men in the world. So to fight right before them it's insane. It's going to be something to look back on and have it's going to be an awesome memory.
Well, I look forward to the Sugar Show this Saturday, and good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
And we will take our next questions from Adrian Gallardo with Vavel, Argentina.
Hello, Sean.
Hello.
How are you? My first question is, what do you think about being the co-main fight in this great event? Is it something important for you?
Yeah, usually I don't really care where I'm at on the card. I kind of in my head I'm always the main event, but for this card it's a little different. Stipe DC is the main event, and I'm the main event right before it. So it's a sweet card to have two main events on.
Perfect. What do you think about Ecuador, about Chito Vera? And is this another fight for you, or this is a really important one?
I didn't understand the question. Sorry. What was that?
What do you think about Chito Vera? What do you think about this fight? Is a really important fight for you, or is another one?
Yeah, Marlon's a extremely tough opponent. He's won his last 6 fights with 5 finishes. He's never been finished. Ton of UFC experience. He's been the distance a lot. He's won decisions. He's lost decisions. So he's extremely experienced. But he's never fought someone like me. Anytime I fight someone, they're never gonna have fought someone like me. They're just. I think I'm gonna be too much for him, and I really do believe there's certain levels to this game. Obviously there is, and I feel like I'm on a different level than him, and I get to go out there Saturday night and prove that.
Perfect. In case of winning, if you win the fight of the Saturday, what do you want for your career?
Well, after I win this fight, I think just fighting someone that gets me closer to the belt, it makes sense, and I think it depends on how I win this fight as well.
Okay, and the last question, a fun question. What is your favorite video game at the moment? You have a great fan you have a Twitch channel. You are a great fan of the video games. What is your favorite video game?
What is my favorite video game? I would have to say at the moment it's Call of Duty, Search and Destroys. With the Twitch fam, it's something I pretty much play every single day. Not right now, I don't have my setup, but Call of Duty, Search and Destroy right now would be my favorite video game.
Okay, Sean. Good luck for the Saturday.
Thank you.
And we will take our last set of questions from Jose Ignacio Cruz.
Hey, Sean, do you hear me?
I do.
How you doing, buddy? Nice to talk to you.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm actually quite thankful. I'm the one that sent you an email a few weeks ago asking for some time with you, and now we got here, so I'm quite stoked. Let's start with something around the fight. Everybody's talking about on social media about you maybe not able to compete high-level opponents to this point in your career, and the matchup with Cheeto comes as a really big, the first real big test for you. What do you say to all the naysayers out there that feel that maybe you're not prepared to the upper echelons of the division?
I don't think much of it. I think Cheeto's top 10 guy, and I go out there and put his lights out, fight someone who's next, and there's not much thought that goes into what people say about me as far as the negative ones. You know, the positive one, I enjoy that, and I, you know, those are from the fans that I love, and the negative stuff, it doesn't bother me. Cheeto's a dangerous opponent, and he's you know, he's respected in the UFC, so getting a win over him will probably, you know, quiet a lot of the naysayers. I could go out there and knock out Peter, and there's still going to be guys that are saying, yeah, but. So don't really pay much of attention to the negative stuff.
I see. Let's go to the dreamland for a bit. Okay. I was wondering the other day if you have any fights that you would like to. Let's take away all the things regarding the division right now. If you could have a dream fight, whoever you want to fight, who would you fight?
Probably Connor. I think that would be I think the fans would like that. I think that's an exciting fight. You know, and that's a fight that I feel like I could win. It's not like there's not a chance. I feel like it's a fight I could win, and it's a fight that would probably be a dream fight.
How do you feel stylistically that matchup? How do you feel that you would go for the win?
I'm lighter. He's heavier. I'm way faster than him. So I think you know, he hits hard. I'm good at not getting hit, and I think, you know, it'd be interesting.
Okay, man. Best of luck on your fight, and don't let anybody tell you something about your.
Thank you, Jose.
Do you, baby? Have a great fight on Saturday. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sean. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Unfortunately, Vince Pichel will be unable to join us today. He is fine, but he is at the Performance Institute currently. So that will conclude today's virtual media day. We would like to thank everyone for joining today's event and your supporting coverage. Be sure to tune in to the UFC 252 Miocic versus Cormier 3 press conference tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live through the ESPN app, as well as on UFC's Twitch, YouTube, and social media pages. We will distribute video and audio downloads from today's event to your emails as soon as they are available. Have a great day, everyone.